Welcome to Tickle Your ROI, the show empowering franchise owners to thrive. Today's episode focuses on brand identity and how to build a cohesive brand identity. We'll also discuss why a cohesive brand identity is important, how to maintain that identity across locations, and what to do as your business evolves. It's a complex topic, so get ready to take some notes. Let's jump in with the bottom line up front. Building and maintaining a cohesive brand identity is a critical function for any business marketing effort, but it takes on a special importance for franchises and other businesses with multiple locations. How do you craft a brand identity that works for every location you have, and how do you maintain that identity across multiple locations? This is a yin-yang set of questions, and approaching them as an interoperating process is generally the best way forward. Building and maintaining a cohesive brand identity is a function of both marketing/brand projection and client service and client experience. Let's dig a little deeper and explore what that means for you and your business. Building a cohesive brand identity begins by having a fully realized vision for your brand. By taking the time to fully define your brand, you'll find it much easier to maintain your brand identity over time and across multiple locations. Defining your brand can mean many different things, depending on the nature of the business and the space you occupy in your industry. However, there are some common features of brand identity that most businesses need to embrace and explore. We'll start with brand personality, which sounds nebulous, and maybe it is. However, it shapes so much of what comes later that it makes for a natural beginning in developing brand identity cohesion. Brand personality encompasses the feel of your brand, including the values your brand embodies, the visual aesthetics of your brand, your logo, color scheme, and marketing visuals, the look and feel or location aesthetics of each location, and the experience you want to offer your customers or clients. We can illustrate this with an obvious example. The casual dining restaurant Cracker Barrel offers the experience of Southern home cooking in a relaxed environment with the visual trappings of old-fashioned rural life. This experience is consistent across Cracker Barrel locations nationwide, intending to create a welcoming down-home feel for their customers wherever they may be. Is it a little cheesy? Maybe, but it's consistent and iconic, and it feels welcoming and comfortable. Everything from the sepia-toned color scheme to the old-fashioned fonts used on logos and menu headers taps into the overall vibe this brand seeks to create. While your brand likely requires a very different set of visuals and a much different feel than Cracker Barrel, all of us can learn from them as an example of a well-tuned brand personality. Brand storytelling is closely intertwined with creating a brand personality, but it is distinct enough to warrant some separate discussion. Brand storytelling relies on a basic fact of human psychology. People respond to stories, not lists of facts. And your brand does have a story. There's a reason you started your business, chose the franchise you did, and devoted so much time to it over the years. Telling that story in an authentic and relatable way is the heart of brand storytelling, and it can take both your marketing and your brand identity to the next level. Cohesive brand identity starts with brand storytelling because this foundational story tells us, all from the owner to the employees to the clients, why we're here and what the goal of this experience is. Again, we can go back to Cracker Barrel and other casual dining restaurants, for example. They strive to offer a consistent sit-down dining experience that offers quality food, but a relaxed vibe, and very often embraces various ideas of a fun night out. Your brand has its own story, and it might help you start with your brand storytelling by writing that story down in whatever form works best for you, and then tying that into the brand personality you've created. When you bring those two together, you'll be much closer to having a brand story that you can then relate on all levels of your business or franchise experience. And speaking of franchises, they often come with their brand storytelling, again, remembering casual dining franchises. But there's generally space for each franchisee to tell their own story within those broader narratives. It might help to apply the same approach. There's a reason you selected this particular franchise and a reason you've put so much effort into it. That is the core of your story, so make sure to incorporate it into your vision for your franchise locations. Now that we've discussed how to combine brand personality and storytelling, Let's examine these ideas in action when applied to your businesses or franchises. You've created your brand, so now it's time to project and maintain a cohesive brand identity over time and across different locations. This is when we take your brand storytelling and brand personality and put them into practice. It's also where we learn that writing down your brand story, your values, and your goals is more than a personal exercise. These writings become the basis of the training materials you'll use with location managers and employees so that they can better understand your vision and goals and then translate those into creating the right customer or client experience for your business or franchise. This is what a company culture is, or should be, a shared and mutually understood vision of what your business is, how it will grow, and what it is you offer your customers, both tangible and intangible. Multiple locations of the same business or franchise can make this a bit of a challenge, but there are solutions that can help ensure continuity and cohesion in your brand identity. Using the same training materials and approaches in each location is a big step in the right direction. Ideally, the same people will conduct the training at each location to help the process along, and the managers will all be in regular communication with both you, the owner, and each other to keep everyone on the same page. On the employee level, you can mirror this approach by having employees regularly cross-train at each other's locations and ensure that they've all met and worked together on occasion. This does a couple of productive things by helping with team building and a sense of company identity, and by ensuring that, again, everyone is on the same page and moving in the same direction with the same goals. Your franchise or business's locations do not exist in isolation. They are part of your comprehensive brand, and in order to build and project a cohesive brand identity, everyone involved needs to understand what that means and how it works in practice. Also, in previous episodes, we've discussed the importance of a cohesive visual brand using the same logos, color schemes, decor, and setup to ensure that each location fits within the framework of your brand vision. These are critical functions, but for some franchises, casual dining, coffee shops, and other third-place types of businesses, the demands of the overall brand must be balanced against the needs of each location to develop its clientele and vibe. It's tricky to give specific advice on this, as the demands of each franchise, the needs of each location, and the nature of each audience or client base will be different. As a general rule, this is where open communication with your employees comes in. They generally have the most time spent with the clients. They have an on-the-ground understanding of the nature of your client base and its needs, and they can offer insights as to ways you can best cater to the folks who patronize your business or franchise. Effective employee feedback is another reason why it is so important to have a cohesive brand identity and a shared understanding of it on all levels of the business. It improves not only the customer experience, but also employee feedback, empowering your workers to make meaningful contributions via their insights and ideas for how things should go at each location. It also increases their personal investment in the business, furthering their shared success. Finally, let's talk about projecting your brand identity outward to your potential audience of clients and customers. In a way, we've already touched on this when we discussed the importance of brand aesthetics, location atmospherics, and a cohesive customer experience across both visits and locations. However, it's important to remember that all of those things need to be reflected in your external marketing, meaning that your digital marketing, including your social media, your print media marketing, and all signage, billboards, and posters or flyers need to fit your overall design. These are likely the first facets of your brand that most people will encounter, and they should reflect the brand personality, story, and cohesive identity you've worked so hard to create. Since each location of your business franchise may need its own social media identity, this is yet another place where careful coordination between employees and managers becomes a vital business function. This doesn't mean weekly in-person meetings about social media. All you need to do is ensure that the lines of communication are open and that employees on all levels understand the brand story and brand identity. They can then make use of the digital marketing tools available to facilitate better client relationships and interactions and ensure that their location's message is being projected both effectively and accurately. Well, that's all the time we have for now. Thanks for taking a moment with me to explore some thoughts and ideas about building a cohesive brand identity. As always, the world of marketing is complex and evolving, and we'll continue to explore it in future podcasts. So please click follow to receive notifications about upcoming episodes. In the meantime, if you have any further questions, visit our website, check out our social media, or contact us from the information below for questions, business queries, or topic suggestions. This has been Tickle Your ROI with Blake Baxendale, and we'll see you next time.